start.
Hello everyone, welcome to the online MOOC entitled Marketing Management in Hospitality and Tourism Industry. So my name is Dr. Sangwon Park, who is also professor and then chief lecturer for this module. And for today, we have a chance to invite the leading scholars, who is Dr. DaeYoung Kim in tourism marketing. Actually, he is another professor at the University of Missouri, Columbia. He's gonna talk about the topic regarding mega trends and technology, entitled Mega Trends in Tourism and Travel Information Technology. We are quite pleased to have his the speech to listen to. So, welcome, Dr. Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind introduction, Dr. Park. Hello, everyone. My name is DaeYoung Kim from the University of Missouri. I'm an associate professor of hospitality management, and my research specialties include information technology, travelers' behavior, and conference and event management. And then today, I'm going to talk about mega trends in tourism and travel information technology, and then I'll walk you through some key issues in information technology within the context of tourism and hospitality industry. And I hope you can enjoy our lecture and panel discussion, and at the end you will get some managerial and marketing insights. Okay, so let's start. Okay, before we start the main topic, let me share some imaginary story. Let me start with some imaginary story. When you see this figure, then there is one old lady, okay, and then for some reason that lady has not been traveling at all. And then can you guess? Of course, you can see some, the people who are afraid of traveling and trip, and then hesitated to make a trip. And then can you guess what kind of keep those people from traveling? So what's our main reasons? And you may not think about this question, but you can easily think of the first constraints of traveling will be money. For some reason that old lady doesn't have money, so she cannot make a trip. And then what is another one? Maybe time. She's too busy to travel. Right? And then just suppose that even if she has money and time, then still she is hesitated to travel. And then what is the another reason? Maybe that is she doesn't have motivation. So what that means is typically she would say, oh, I don't see any value in traveling and trip, and I don't understand why people waste of their time and money to travel, and I'm not going to make any travel like that. So she doesn't have motivation, then she cannot make trip, right? And then so those three things, money, time, and motivations, are major constraints of travel. And then my question is, even though she has money, time, and motivation, then still she could be hesitated. And that one is perceived risk. What they mean is she's motivated to travel somewhere, but she doesn't know anything about that destination. She cannot speak that the destinations culture and language, so she is hesitated. And then the reason why I introduced this imaginary story is that travel information basically is to reduce the perceived risk which hinder the decision making. So basically more and more travel information enable more and more travelers to make a trip, right? And also, you may understand the nature of hospitality tourism is a very information intensive industry. And why? Because of intangibility. As you know, the intangibility means service cannot be seen, tasted, felt, heard or smelled before they are purchased. So, for example, here is one consumer. One day she needs a toothpaste, and she go to grocery store or supermarket and get a toothpaste. It's a kind of easy task, and in terms of time and efforts, it's not very tiny things and effortable, the activity. On the other hand, when you plan on a spring break, like you try to reserve a beautiful resort area like this, and think about the distance, not only physical distance, but also time distance. The toothpaste, maybe it takes 5 minutes. The spring break trip, even though you booked a hotel and airline tickets, you have to wait at least a couple of months. So time and physical distance is much longer than the general products. So here is technology, right? As you know, tourism has been evolved by the development of technology, and historically, the industrial revolution creates a steamboat, new technology, a couple of hundreds years before, and then steamboat, guess what, enabled more and more people to travel more easily. Then what happened? Railroad, especially like European countries and Asian countries, and when you go to some famous historical destination, then you can see the all destinations, attractions are clustered nearby train stations. Then automobile, especially in the United States, you see most motels and hotels are built up alongside the highway. Right? Then what happens? Of course, internet. So today we're going to talk about information technology, which is based upon the internet development. So here is the evolution of information channels. As you see, we started with mail, snail mail, then moved to a telephone, then TV, then era of PC, internet, and email. Then now, this is most people agree that this is era of mobile, right? Like this. Then the most critical task online information search is how to get relevant search results online. Right? Why? Because TMI. Have you heard about the term TMI? It stands for too much information. So even previously, even 50 years ago or 40 years ago, information is pretty rare, and only limited people can reach your information. But nowadays, since the emergence of the internet and website, the information is everywhere. So everyone can access the information, relevant information. But ironically, nowadays, there is too much information, so people cannot find the relevant information, right? And there are 3 information technology revolution in tourism, as you see. The first one is computer, internet, and broadband. And second one is smartphone and mobile devices. And guess what? The third one is social media, social networking site. So I'm going to talk about those 3 IT revolution in tourism, and as a future marketer, I will discuss about how you're going to utilize those IT revolution for the marketing activities. Okay. And then, this is interesting things. TGIF. Have you heard about TGIF? Of course, TGIF is a chain restaurant, right? TGIF restaurant. And also the original term of TGIF is what? Thanks God it's Friday, right? That's the TGIF. To me, maybe TBIF because I'm a Buddhist. So thanks Buddha is Friday. I'm kidding, but Then in information technology, you can see another TGIF. That is, T stands for Twitter, G stands for Google, I stands for, maybe you think about Instagram, but I mean iPhone, and then F, Facebook. So TGIF, those four companies dominate information technology industry and world. So as a marketer, especially tourism marketer, without talking about those TGIF, then you never think of future marketings. And then here is another question. So which site people most frequently visit and stay longer, which means basically which site make most web traffic. iPhone is a hardware thing, so we exclude iPhone. Then Twitter, Google, and Facebook. And you may think one of them. Then the answer is from 2010, the Facebook outnumbered Google in terms of web traffic. So in terms of web traffic, the Facebook creates the most web traffic in IT world. And then I look up the most current one, and still Facebook is a marginally outnumbered Google site. I exclude this figure exclude YouTube, but of course YouTube create a lot of web traffic, but excluding YouTube, then Facebook and Google sites. And then this is a kind of a main issue that we want to discuss about. I'm going to talk about trend of information search. That is, when we look up the trend of information search, we can see a kind of trend, obvious trend. That is, information search trend moved from the so-called information-based search to relationship-based search. I will explain this one next, more detailed manner, but the information-based search represented by Google's.com, and then relationship-based search is represented by Facebook. Okay, then why relationship-based search is important? Because again, going back to TMI, because of too much information, then if you don't know the precise search keywords, then you cannot get you get a too many results, because the information-based search engine do not set up the criteria. And then network of friends, peer group, and social networking can give more refined conditions to search engine system, because that relationship-based search engine can track down your web history and purchasing history. And also, for example, if 60% of your friends search a certain product, then you are more likely to be interested in that product. So the system can recommend some more relevant products to you by considering your friends' interest. And also, relationship-based search engine would increase the chance of providing more relevant information to users. For example, Amazon more actively adopt that relationship-based search. Then, so you, for example, if you search your vitamin C, then at the bottom, then the Amazon recommends some, the relevant or similar products which you might be interested in, like that. And then let me give you one more example. That is okay. Trip to Hong Kong. This is my first time to make a trip to Hong Kong, and then my mission before the travel, then my mission is find travel information related to Hong Kong. Then I put keywords Hong Kong in the Google, and then Google shows this result. This is a kind of typical, the Google website, the search result. And as you see, there is more than 1 billion website Google find. of course, that number shows the power of Google search engine, but sometimes it is kind of meaningless because we cannot, visit all 1 billion websites, and then see like yeah, this is a typical one. In the on the top there are some Hong Kong related news, and then the next and the Wikipedia, and then the Google shows some photos like that, and on the right side there is Hong Kong, the official information like that. This is a typical example of information based search. This is good, but look at this one. This is a joke, but the joke is where do you hide a dead body? For some reason you have a dead body, then you need a place to hide that dead body. Then the answer is, guess what? Third page of Google. Why? No one visit there, right? Normally the statistic shows that 90% of Google searchers stop in the first page, and then only the 10% of Google searchers move to second page, but no one visits the third page of Google. So that is a typical problem of relationship-based search engine. Oh no, the information-based search engine. And then this is a Facebook search result. I put keywords Hong Kong, and then it's a somewhat different. Of course, not somewhat, totally different. The search result from that of Google website, and then they show the page Hong Kong, Discover Hong Kong, and Hong Kong International Airport, and then this result, search result, would be different depending on Facebook users. Why? Because Facebook users knows your interest and history and your friends' interest, so they provide more customized and more relevant information. And also they shows in the bottom, as you see, people connected to Hong Kong. Then the Facebook shows my friends who lives in Hong Kong. And then this is a typical example of relationship-based search, right? And then when you move to the down, then there are also posts from friends. This is another example of relationship-based search. So there are many posts, and then so for example that lady, she is my colleagues, and then I can see that she visited Hong Kong. Then in that case I may kind of send a text message, and hey, I saw you were in Hong Kong last year, and then I'm going to go to Hong Kong next week, and then so can you recommend any good restaurant or some fun place? And this kind of process creates the so-called word of mouth and other things. So what information-based search engine Google is worried is not a Yahoo or other search engine, but their future enemy, a current enemy and future enemy is Facebook. So in the future, in terms of information search, the Google versus Facebook's war will continue. And then let me explain about the social media revolution. So of course, more and more people use social media, social networking site. This is a United States statistic, and 2/3 of online adults use social networking sites. And the young people, virtually all, the 100% of young people who have a mobile or PC use social media. And then let me briefly go over the power of social networking of Facebook. This number is based on year 2017. There are more than 2 billion active users, excluding Chinese. 2011 it was 500 million. Then 2017 the active users number is 2 billion, 4 times more within 5 years. and then roughly 1.4 billion active daily users log on Facebook every day, and then there are more than 1.2 billion users currently accessing Facebook through mobile phone, not a PC, mobile phone. So what that means is, from Facebook's perspective, the mobile user is a more important customer than PC users. So the mobile makes up almost 90% of Facebook advertising revenue, right? And then, so here is kind of my thoughts as a tourism and hospitality marketer. So again, if you cannot use, or if you are not able to use this social networking site which has a 2 billion active user, then you should give up your future marketing. And next, let me introduce this small world effect, the so-called 6-degree separation effect. What that means is, as you see it, it's a kind of all bubbles. Bubble means those kind of the bubbles are human. And on this planet, this 6-degree separation model suggests that on this planet, any irrelevant two people can find their relationship within 6 steps. What that means is, Dr. Park lives in Hong Kong, I live in Missouri, United States. We never met before. But if we try to find a connection, then, for example, we can find our relationship within 6 steps. So, for example, Dr. Park is my uncle's friend's son, 3 steps, like that. And then another case is like Dr. Park is my high school teacher's cousin's son's friends, like that, 4 steps, like that. So it is a kind of very closely connected, and literally this world is very small. And then online is even smaller. So as you see the graph, and then most people they found their relationship within 4 steps, right? And then here is another example. As you know, the coal and graphite is made up of carbon, and then diamond is also made up of carbon. So both coal and diamond made of carbon, but both have a different crystal structure. So which one is more valuable? Of course, diamond is more valuable things, and which one is more harder? Of course, diamond. The coal, if you like this, and it's easily cracked down, but diamond is the hardest material on this planet. And then different crystal structure makes all the difference. Look at this. I will show you the structure. Okay. Then the left side, that is a coal. And then as you see, the crystal structure is in case of coal, it's a very loosely connected, like that. On the other hand, right side, the structure is diamond. As you see, diamond is more well connected and very organized. That different structure makes all the difference between a coal and diamond. And then again, going back to TGIF, Twitter, Google, and an iPhone and a Facebook, they are very good at this diamond structure. Presumably the secret of their kind of business success will be they built up this kind of diamond structure, well connected one. So as a marketer in tourism and hospitality, you should consider, think of how to make this kind of diamond type structure, right? So world is still evolving, and Google found in 1996, and Twitter 2006, iPhone 2007, and Facebook 2004. What I mean is those kind of 10 years or 12, 11 years old guys kind of dominate and ruled all over the world like this. So those elementary kids, they dominate, all over the world. This is a kind of phenomenal events, and we never seen this kind of, the happening before. And Apple founder, he passed away, but he says Apple has been always existed between technology and liberal arts, and you should think about what he said. And in order to create a new paradigm, you should kind of, the mixed, totally different, like technology and liberal arts, and technology and hospitality, and engineering and tourism, so that we have a more creative idea. Be positive, and there is a great big beautiful tomorrow. And that's it for today's lecture.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Kim, for your very interesting and insightful presentations. So to learners, please let me re-summarize what we have discussed now. So Dr. Kim provided some trend and advancement to information technology in tourism hospitality. And also we briefly talk about the difference between information-based and the relation-based search. And then with regard to relation-based search, Dr. Kim also emphasized the social media, such a platform, as well as diamond structure, and how it's different to the core structure as well. And then also I quite like the term of the small world effect. As we are living in the internet era, so kind of relationship, the steps to find out the person is much more smaller, narrower than before.
Sure.
So it's quite comprehensive, very interesting subjects. And then from now on, we're gonna try to have the panel discussion. So while I'm listening to Dr. Kim's presentation, I come up with the two different questions. So I'm gonna ask the questions to Dr. Kim. Then meanwhile, to learners, if you have any questions to address during this kind of live session, please leave the messages or leave your questions on the online board so that we can look at it and then immediately try to discuss about it. Yeah. So Dr. Kim, my first question is related to relationship-based search, as you emphasized. But when I listen to it, it seems that it's quite similar or highly interacted with relationship marketing in our field.
That's true.
So would you please let us know, so what's the difference or how we understand two different concepts in terms of the marketing? And then also, can you give me a little bit more examples how the essential marketers or hospital marketers can utilize information relation-based or relation marketing?
Thank you. Thank you for your question. And that's a very good questions. And then of course, I explained about what relationship-based marketing, and you kind of accurately point out that the relationship-based marketing is pretty similar to the relationship marketing. And my kind of thought on relationship marketing is like this. Hospitality marketers and tourism marketers, and also a scholar like us, we kind of keep talking about relationship marketing and customized marketing, and especially like by using IT information technology like that. But the reality is, as you see, the majority of the hospitality and tourism industry still pretty much based upon the selling concept and the mass tourism concept and the mass marketing concept. So when you when you go to some the tourism related website, then what you see is their kind of competitive edge is a low price, and like especially like this is a kind of price war things, which means still information tourism and hospitality industry kind of naively adopt relationship marketing and relationship based marketing. What I mean is, I know the many industry, the practitioners and the businessmen, and so when we talk with them, then we kind of easily realize that, oh yeah, we utilize website and IT technology, but the reality is that they are just happy with having website, not kind of utilize the information technology. So in terms of the how to utilize the information technology is, for example, like let's get back to the my Hong Kong trip plan, like that. And then so when I look up the some information on the website, and travel recommendation system should be able to, when I put a keyword Hong Kong on the Google or whatever, other tourism, Hong Kong tourism website or whatever, and then in the future they should be able to provide some more, the similar destination or the other destination which I would be interested. And not only like a destination choice, but also like a restaurant, for example, like a restaurant industry or hotel industry. So if I like a food, then they would provide some, the series of other food, like Amazon. If I search, the vitamin C, then automatically the Amazon system provides some, the interesting products to me. And then so again, in the future, by using information technology, then the tourism marketer, hospitality marketers should provide more relevant information and more relevant destination and menu and products.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I think, in my understanding, that relationship marketing is quite related to recommendation system as well. So, yeah, I know that around a decade ago, so the many scholars have focused on or investigated recommendation system in
That's
our
right.
field, and as long as I understand that or remember that the Kim also have published some book chapters and wrote a book
Right.
entitled "The Recommendation System." I
That's
think
right.
at this moment currently, that theoretical foundation which you made contributions
Alright.
becomes more reality in practice with the advancement of technology, I believe.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then also my second question is about digital marketing as a whole. So to the learners as well. So in the 3 weeks, one of the lecture we talked about digital marketing. So given the understanding of a general concept of digital marketing, Dr. Kim also have mentioned or talked about such a evolution of information channel. So he also highlighted from the mail into the mobile technology. And also, as Dr. Kim has mentioned just before, so mobile has launched or released to our society 2007. It's
That's right.
already a decade ago. But now, so many new technology come up with. So my question is that would you please share your insights? What's the next evolution of information channels apart from the mobile technology?
Oh.
And then what's the implications of the new evolution or new technology in tourism, hospitality, and marketing perspectives?
Okay, that's a very
Yeah, yeah.
interesting question.
Yeah.
So, and also interesting question, and also this is a $1 million question. If I predict, in the future, then I'll be a millionaire and billionaire, right? And you ask about you ask me about the evolution of the media channel, communication channel, and what would be the next the channel to the mobile, and then nowadays everyone talks about artificial intelligence and virtual reality. So AI and VR will be the next media and communication channel. And you also ask how that AI and VR, not you didn't specify that one, but how those kind of evolutionary one is applied to the marketing, especially like in tourism. Then I think the first of all, that AI and VR, that advanced technology can be applied to many marketing activities, such as customer data-based marketing, customer niche marketing, and micro marketing. and also AI and VR can be applied to the so-called smart tourism and city design and destination design, and also I believe artificial intelligence and the virtual reality can improve travel recommendation system and also improve the travelers experience, on-site experience. So for example, so still when I travel to a certain the destination foreign country or even domestic country as well, so we kind of truly rely on two-dimension Google Map or other the paper the based information. But I'm pretty sure that pretty soon, I don't know whether it's in 5 years or 10 years, but pretty soon majority of tourists do not need that the two-dimension based Google Map, because of the wearable devices such as like the Google glasses or Apple Watch. So in someday on the the when you check when you see the the street of Hong Kong, heart of downtown or something, people do not kind of look at the currently the most tourists do look at the smartphone, then check the the real buildings and signage of road. But later they just kind of wearing a Google glasses, then just kind of smoothly, seamless manner, they just move like that. And then maybe if we put some marketing information there, for example, so a tourist is wearing a Google glasses, and then they kind of they keep informed by famous restaurant and hotels and other the tourist attractions on before their eyes, then they can more easily find that the attractions or restaurants.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. So I think it seems that you are particularly concentrated on artificial intelligence in such a customer-based marketing, so that we can provide much more personalized information and the customized services, so that users or mobile users or technological users, which they can be potential travelers, can have a more experience, better experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is the aspect that Dr. Kim's emphasized. And then I just got a sort of question from the learners, and then it's quite interesting question. So same with this question quite related to evolution of influence channels. The question is that how could virtual reality benefit the digital marketing? I quite agree with that. Such other than artificial intelligence, such a virtual reality, or we call it augmented reality, AR,
right.
quite is another steps to move forward. So would you please a little bit emphasize or share your insights over the role of a virtual reality and then how is it applied to the digital marketing?
Right. So in terms of virtual reality, my thought is virtual reality can be opportunity and also threats to destination management. Let me first talk about threats to destination marketing. That is, many people worried about if virtual reality represent that destination 100%, then people do not travel.
Yeah.
Right. For example, like there is a very early concept of virtual reality within the context of tourism, started from the virtual museum and like that. And then that's a very cool technology and very advanced technology. But on the other hand, if I'm working in a museum like a Louvre in France, I'm gonna be worried about that technology. Because people wearing some the devices, and they kind of that devices make them feel real things, then people do not travel, do not need to travel to Paris to see the Louvre museum like that. So that is a kind of threat. But also there should be some advantages, and then that is, I believe, if we kind of destination marketer and managers efficiently and effectively use virtual reality, then that virtual reality can be another promotional and advertising, the method.
Yeah.
So what I mean is like, I don't, for example, okay, Cebu in Philippines. I never been there, and then if that destination marketers make a fantastic virtual reality based promotional, the video or whatever, then if I when I wear that virtual reality device, and if I experience Cebu in Philippines, then maybe my interest and of course awareness and other the conviction and other attitudinal things are increased, and this is really cool destination. I just heard and I read the magazine. I saw some nice photo of that destination, but when I see that destination through the virtual reality, then I really want to go to that destination. So again, there's always a kind of negative and positive side, and then the positive side of virtual reality in the destination marketing will be by using VR, then the certain destination can create more the visitors.
Yeah.
That's my kind of gut feeling and thoughts.
I think I quite agree with Dr. Kim's answers. So, the virtual reality can be a double sword. So they're always positive
Exactly.
and then negative stuff. If I add more of my ideas on that, in terms of positive stuff, somehow, even though the people already explored and find out so many tourism destinations, but however, there are certain hidden area which are quite hard to assess. For example, the deep cave, so people cannot go there in deep way.
Absolutely.
Then so using the drone, what if we can record all the video, 3D videos, and then make the virtual reality program?
Absolutely.
Then people, even though the physically it's quite hard to assess these hidden places, but we can see using such a new technology, such a one of the good positive aspect of it. And then, as Dr. Kim pointed out, some negative part of that. I also a little feeling that somehow, what if virtual reality can replace such a real
trips,
experiences? Another threat can be so. From the data marketer, somehow we need to make a balance well. I think gaming industry is quite, they use VR really a lot.
Absolutely.
We used to use some Nintendo, something like 2D based the platform, but now so many the leading game industry producers, they already adopt virtual reality, makes more live experiences or active experiences. So I think we can look at how the game industry move forward by adopting the virtual reality. Then from the dancing marketers or tourism hospital marketers can look at using as a benchmarking.
That's
so how we can use it.
right.
Yeah.
And then adding to your comments, then so going back to like 20 years before, at the time the Skype and other the online meeting, virtual meeting system developed, and then many people worried about like a Skype and then the virtual meeting things. If more and more people use that one, and the conference events and meetings will be die or something. But the reality is that even 20 years later, still people are having events and meetings. There are also a number of reasons, right? And then I'm not going to talk about those reasons. But virtual reality, the threats, but I'm always positive toward the future of tourism. So people keep traveling and making trips, even though the virtual reality represent that destination 100%.
Right. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Very interesting. And then I just also got another new question from the learner and the audience. I cannot avoid that question, but it's really interesting. The big issues as well in terms of AI, artificial intelligence again. So what the learner said that currently AI, artificial intelligence, is everywhere.
Right.
in travel and tourism sector, is it possible for AI to replace people in near future? That's the question. Yeah, but actually, yeah, this is the we're not quite sure at this moment.
Right,
But
that's
can I little bit tweak the question to more fit to the marketing aspect? My question on the learner's questions is that is it possible for AI to replace marketers in the near future? If yes or no, so of course we cannot have the binary question yes or no, but in certain aspect, then how the tourism and hospitality marketers can use the artificial intelligence platform or applications when they develop their marketing strategy. So just two different questions. Yeah. First one, do you think AI replaced the marketers? Second, yes or no, then how the marketers in tourism hospitality can cope with or utilize AI to make the better marketing strategies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting question.
Yeah.
So, the first question is it's a pretty direct question. So, can AI replace the marketer? My answer is no,
Yep.
because of course AI can provide the more very detailed information. They can kind of calculate the history of marketing activity, and also they can accurately calculate the patterns of consumer behavior and other consumption pattern and all everything. But AI doesn't have a human factor. What I mean is in terms of management and marketing, so we should kind of decide. There are millions of directions, right? We can go this way and that way, and the life is also the business is a series of choices. Of course, the AI technology can help marketers and the industry practitioners kind of make a more accurate decisions. But the AI per se cannot replace the marketer's human factor things. Okay. Always the final decision will be made on human factor and humans, marketers. That's my questions. And then the second one is how the marketers cooperate with artificial intelligence. That one is I kind of already talk about that kind of that questions before. And then AI technology can be used for analyzing consumers the pattern and behavior, and also based upon those analysis, then the marketers more kind of efficiently and more kind of easily predict the consumers future behavior things. So that is a kind of beauty of artificial information for marketers.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. And then also we just got got new question from the learners. So let me it's kind of a little bit long question. So let me rephrase that. Yeah. So learners also agree that it seems that she or he quite actively using the mobile technology.
Right.
So with the high speed of Wi-Fi, so many travelers are using their mobile technology to access social media websites, and then they're quite having lots of benefits from these innovative technologies. So Dr. Kim, would you please share, is there any interesting example or story of social media marketing? So how destination marketer can use social media so that how they share some examples of digital marketing of using social media, and then what kind of benefits of the travelers can obtain from it? Yeah.
Right. So this is also a very good question. So
Yeah.
and I can when you Dr. Kim and Dr. Park and the students learner ask me about a good example of the social media and IT technology, I can immediately think of the Instagram.
Yeah.
And also YouTube,
yeah.
YouTube and Instagram things,
Yeah.
which is a very image-based the social networking sites.
Yeah.
And then as you see the hashtag, the marketing, and then before I come to Hong Kong, then the first website which I kind of search information about Hong Kong is not a Google, not a Facebook, but Instagram.
Okay.
Because Instagram can shows what is the trend and what is the hottest place in Hong Kong thing. And then the benefits of that social media like YouTube and the Instagram to tourism marketer is that if travel and tourism marketers manage their Instagram or social networking site skillfully, then that is a kind of those content. They don't need marketers do not need to worry about creating contents. Why? Because that is a user, the created based, the social networking site. So users, they can voluntarily, actively, they post their the destinations photo and video things, and more, and then it also creates the so-called word of mouth, and then also the one more good thing about the social networking user created social networking site is that people trust more about the Instagram photos or user generated contents than official the informations. So those kind of the user generated contents give a more trustfulness, and also again the word of mouth things.
Okay. I think Dr. Kim has focused on or emphasized the word of mouth, E1, we would say that. So the key feature of social media is to allow people to share their experience, their information provided by other consumers, not really other marketers, so that the travelers have a much more trustworthiness, reliability to this information. It's a quite good point. And then so keep learners providing more and more questions. They're quite active. So I think these are quite interesting questions, which I'm gonna tell in a minute. We cannot close our eyes looking at the growth of the Chinese market.
Absolutely.
It's quite massive.
Right.
Then the reality to do that, so one of the learner asked a quite interesting question. How do you forecast, how do you look forward Chinese tourists, their travel behaviors, particularly how do you think, how do you see their influence such behaviors by using internet or more online technology, online sources when they plan their trips? I know that Dr. Kim is coming from USA, but would you please share some insights, their future behaviors of influence search and travel from the Chinese, the potential tourists?
Absolutely. So of course, I'm not familiar with the context of Chinese travelers. But Dr. Park, as you see, there is some kind of sequential, process of the progress of the tourists in each country. I'm originally from South Korea. Then when we see the history of each countries, then the starting point is a mass tourism, package tourism. Then it's more and more moved to further and further moved to individual and independent travels, right? And then so, as I see in Chinese travelers, and then still majority of Chinese travelers are using a package and mass, tourism products. And so what I mean is currently, if Chinese if Chinese traveler who purchase the tourism package and others, they don't really need to actively search your information by themselves. But later, sooner or later, if more and more independent and individual travelers, the in China, then they are more and more kind of rely on information on the internet, and then that is a kind of my simple and rough predictions, and also still there will be a very kind of large room for social networking sites to develop Chinese market. We know that for example, like Facebook, the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, kind of put lots of efforts and attention to the Chinese government to allow the Facebook and other the social networking site. But I'm not going to touch other the sensitive things. But in the future, and social networking site provides more and more travel related information.
Yeah, so I think quite agree with Dr. Kim's the answer. And then if I add a little bit more, Chinese market, so they're quite famous and they're the leading technical companies. For example, Alibaba. Alibaba, it developed the Ali Trip, so they're also quite highlighting on that. And also WeChat, also Weibo. These are another quite popular social media or SNS platforms. And as long as I know, so many tourism and the hospitality marketers in China, they are quite actively utilizing that platforms to have the promotions and then share their up-to-date information. Quite similar to the digital marketing in United States with the Chinese market, but they're using different platforms like the Alibaba or Taobao or so Weibo, and then quite similar concepts, I think. I don't think there are big differences, but they're using different messages, different platforms as well.
Absolutely.
So we have quite limited time left, but before we finish it, in my understanding, so we keep talking about the evolution, development of technology in marketing. We call digital marketing. But when you think about the adoption of a marketing, we cannot disregard the generations. So particularly, I believe the millennium generation, it seems like the next future. And then Dr. Kim is also doing the currently guest guest editor for a special issue
with Dr. Park.
with myself as well, as one of the leading journals, Asian Pacific Journal of Tourism, the research. And then we are highlighting the importance of a millennium generations, quite related with this topic. So we are kept talking about the advancement of technology, then rather than older generation, but we are quite focusing on the new generation, millennium generations. Also, when I work in the UK at the university, I had a chance to meet many general managers in the hotel. Also, they also quite have a big question: what's the big difference between current such a baby boomer generation, generation X and Y, as opposed to millennium generations? And this is a hot topic, and then which we are working on it as a special issues. Can you put briefly or shortly talking about what's a new trend at generation level, not real technology? So is there do you think any of the preferences or needs or wants of the millennium generation would be different with traditional generations in terms of the travel behaviors?
Travel behavior, that's also very good questions. And then millennials. That's I saw a recent the market report that in 2050, 20 years later, 30 years later, roughly, then 50% of world travelers are millennials. And that's gonna be pretty soon. The millennial generation will be a major tourism market. And then, as Dr. Park says that they are different from other previous generational cohorts like a baby boomer or Generation X. And then we can easily kind of predict, or not predict, but say that the unique characteristics of millennials are they are more individual.
Right. Individualistic,
and then they are or more kind of a fun seeker. The fun is a very important,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
concept for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only for their life, but also for their, the travel experience as well. And also the millennials, in terms of within the context of travels, experience is a very important concept
Yeah,
in
yeah.
their travels. So I'm kind of old generation, so I
Yeah.
consider travel as a kind of a special, the events.
Yeah, yeah.
But millennials, they take tourism or travel as an extension of their life.
Okay.
So they cannot divide, the local people and the tourists.
Okay.
There's when they millennials, travel to somewhere, the foreign countries and other exotic countries, they try to mingle with the local people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my generation, we just kind of,
Yeah, have some distance.
increase
Yeah.
the wall between,
yeah,
the tourists and the locals. But that is a kind of distinctive differences
Yeah.
between millennials and other generational
Okay.
cohorts.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Kim. Okay, hello to learners. Yeah, we actually had a very pleasant opportunity to invite Dr. Kim talking about the mega trend in tourism and travel informed technology. I believe that this session was quite useful and then quite insightful for the learners as well as myself as well, Dr. Kim. Yeah. Then I'm going to close this session, and then I hope that you guys also quite find some interesting from here. And then thank you very much, and then I will see you in the next session as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.